Hello guys, today in this tutorial I will show you how you can use async await. But before starting this video, I will recommend it to you if you don't know how to use promise and promise all. So first of all, you watch these two videos and I will provide the link of these two videos in my description. So check and watch these two videos because async await is related to promise and promise all. So now I will start async await. So first of all, just here I will write function and a function name and parenthesis. So you can write any name of the function and just here simply I will write where a equals to a value and just I will pass console dot log. Here condition may be different for you, but just here I am passing a simple variable and in console dot log because our main focus is in async await. So a and I will create another function. So I will copy from here and paste and just I will change the function name and I will change the value 4. So now just here I will copy it again and paste and I will change the function name is C and I will change the value here 8. So how use async await? So before using that, first of all we have to know why we use async. So async make our code asynchronously. So suppose guys, this is a JavaScript. So JavaScript is a synchronized. Synchronized means it's execute line by line. So it will execute the first function first, the second function at a second and the third function at the last. So JavaScript execute line by line. So this is the synchronize. But if you write async, so how to write async? So before the function keyword, just simply you write async keyword. So here you can write async keyword here also. So now our these three function is asynchronous. So asynchronous means suppose this function is taking a time 4 seconds to execute and the second function is taking 2 seconds to execute and the third function is taking 8 seconds to execute. So now which function will execute first? So now this function will execute first because this function is taking 2 seconds and after that this function will execute because this function is taking 4 seconds and this one is taking 8 seconds. So this is the async because async made it now all asynchronized. So it will not block the code. So suppose guys, when our program will be done, so it will start execute from first line. So when it will start execute this function, so you can see it's taking 4 seconds but this function is taking 2 seconds. So if it would be a synchronized, so it will start execute line by line, but I am using here async keyword. So now it will execute this function because when it will comes to this function, so you can see it's taking a 4 seconds. So it will not block this code for this function. It will come this one and it will execute first and after that it will execute. So this is the benefit of async. So now I will call these three functions. So how we can call? So just here we write a and parenthesis. A means function name. This is the function name a and after that function b and c. So just here b parenthesis and c parenthesis. So these are the function name. So now this way we can call our function. So if I check the browser, and check it in console, so here you can see I'm getting the three value of this three function like 2, 4 and 8 because I called here. So this way. So here I will show you one thing. So suppose guys, I have written async keyword before all the function, but here we can do one thing like we can function, that means I will create another function and the function name is main parenthesis and curly braces. So inside this main function I will call all this function which I want to make async. So these three function, and now I will call this main function, and instead of written here async both the function, just I will remove and in our main function we can write async, and main is you can write any name as per your choice. This is the function name, so we can write a function that is main, and here we can write async, and now we can call all these three functions which we want to make it asynchronous. So we don't need to write async all of the before all of the function. So here we can write, and now again I will show you two things. So like first is async always performs with the function. So suppose if it's not a function, like if you write only console.log, like console.log, and you can print anything, so this is not a function, it's only a console.log. So you can't write async keyword here. So you can see we are getting error, so you can't write here. So async always perform with a function. So if you write perform, then you can write async keyword. And another thing, when you are using async, so you can't use fade arrow function like this way. Suppose you want to add here fade arrow function, this way. So you can see it's getting error, because when we use async keyword, then we have to write the function keyword and then async. So beside the function before the function keyword we write async keyword. So that is the async. And now I will show you what is await. So await means, guys, await block the execution until promise is resolved. So that means async keyword make your function asynchronously, but await keyword make your function synchronously again, and it block the execution until promise is not resolved. So to understand the await, so we have to use promise. So that's why I was saying before watching the promise video, you come here, because otherwise you will not understand. So here just I will write a promise. So return new promise, and promise takes two parameter, resolve and reject, and here I will use fade arrow function. And now here just I will write like where a equals to here I will write a equals to 2 and 2, and where b equals to 2. And now I will write a condition like if a is similar to b. So now you can see a is 2 and b is 2. So now a is similar to b. So when that means it's a true. So when our function is true, or you can write anything like when your function execute successfully, then we pass anything in resolve parameter. So resolve. So now here you can pass anything. If you want to pass the value of a, you can pass a. You can pass on to value of b, then you can pass here b. Anything you can pass, or you can pass message. So I will pass here message. Okay, so success. And so now in the else part, so that means our function is not a true. So in the else part we pass it in reject parameter. So reject and error. So in the reject I will pass error. So in the same way, just I will copy this promise, and instead of that I will pass here, and I will not change the condition or any value here. I will keep it similar, but here as per your project the condition may be different. Okay, so just I'm showing here async await, so just I will write here the similar value or similar, everything is similar. So what await done? So await do if our promise is not resolved. So that means when it will come to our first function, if our promise until our promise is not resolved, so await will be block our execution. If it execute, that means if our promise is success, or you can say is execute properly, then it will come to second function, and again await will check it's resolving or not. Until it's not resolving, it will block this function. If it will resolve, then it will come the third number function, and it will again check. So this way await works. So you can say it await make again synchronously. So await make function again synchronously. And how to write await? So just here you can write a variable var, and I will write result 1 and await. So all the function I will store in a variable, and before the function name just write await keyword. So in the same way, var result 2 await, again var result 3 await. So now it's a await, that means again all the function is synchronously. And await, what to do await? Just it stop the execution until promise is not resolved. And how, and the one thing I will say here, if you are not using here async, you can't use await. So await always use inside a async function. Okay, so here my function is async, then we can use await. So without async, if you write here await, you will get a error. So always we have to be write async then await. And now here how to execute await? So just here to write promise dot all parenthesis square bracket, and now just pass all the variable here, comma, and the third result variable, because I store all the function in this variable. Okay, so now here just dot then, and then always takes a parameter. We write always it res is the short form of response, and you can see in all function I have written success message inside a result. That means our when our function will execute properly, then we pass it success message. So just I will change the message because otherwise confused. So just success 1, and this message success 2, and here in the third function message I will pass a success 3. So always then, and this response parameter, it's a short form of response. I have written this. You can write any name of the parameter as per your choice. You can write here a, but we mostly pass here response because it's look like similar. So so always resolve message, or what you will pass in resolve, it always comes in then automatically. Okay, so now I will print here console dot log race. So if our function execute properly, then what we will pass in resolve, then this automatically will come to response, in that means in race parameter, and I printed it in console. And if our function is error means, so here you can see when our function is error, so we passed a message in reject. So when our function is error, it's automatically come in catch. So catch, and catch always takes a parameter, so we write parameter name is error. You can write any name, and console dot log error. So now our await is done. So await make your function again synchronously, and here you have to remember that if you are not using async, then you can't use await. Okay, so now save it and check it in browser. So here you can see I'm getting a success 1, success 2, success 3, because our promise is resolved, and this is the syntax of async await. So I hope guys you understand when we need to use await and async, and what is the async await. So and this you can understand the syntax of async await. So hope guys this video is helpful to you, and if you want to get more videos in JavaScript, so please subscribe and press the notification bell icon.